Good afternoon. My Tabor City home here. Today we're talking about auctions. Had the opportunity last weekend to go to a farm equipment auction down in Chadburn, which is about 15-20 minute ride away from here in Tabor City. It was an annual auction they have where they just sell off farm equipment, things of that nature. Some small hand tools, some larger tractors, things of that nature. So it was very interesting. I've only been to just a few auctions in my lifetime, and so I was really keenly interested to see kind of not just how the process went when you were talking about a larger auction like that, but what kind of prices people were paying for things. First of all, let me tell you that if I was out looking for farm equipment, which I'm not, I'm not a farmer, but man, I would go to a farm auction. I actually had non-buyer's remorse out of one purchase I didn't make. I'll put up a picture here. In this picture, you'll see that there's this flatbed gooseneck trailer. It's definitely large enough to have hauled a backhoe or something like that. Matter of fact, if I had a fifth wheel or a ball in the bed of my pickup truck, I would have considered purchasing that trailer. That thing was definitely big enough to put the backhoe on. Triple tire trailer, just robust, sheet metal, good frame. I'm putting pictures up of it. That trailer went for $800. So heck of a deal for the guy who got that one. Right next to the trailer in this picture, you'll see that there's a Ford 3000 tractor. Now, a little bit of rust, a little bit of algae. I think it sat outside for a while. And according to the auctioneer, it wouldn't turn over. That could be where it sat out in the field for a long time and got water down in the cylinders, and you might be able to just take the fuel injectors out and turn the motor over, or pull it behind another tractor and turn it over and pump all that water out of them cylinders, put the fuel injectors back in there and fire that thing right up. I looked when I got home at how much these Ford 3000 tractors were going for on some of the online sites, and in non-running condition, which this was, they were averaging about $2,500. That Ford 3000 tractor in that picture went for $825. Phenomenal. I just wish I had raised my hand and bought it. I really do. For that price, even if you ultimately didn't get it running, you could have parted that tractor out and probably made at least $1,000–1,500 out of just parting it out. So, which wouldn't have been my intent. I mean, I would have bought it trying to restore it and get it in the running condition. But I did buy a few things, and mostly what I bought were hand tools. So I'm going to show you those right now and kind of give you an idea of what the prices were. So the first thing that happened when they went to go to the auction was they started auctioning some hand tools, and they laid them all out on the ground, and you had a choice of picking your price. I think the first go around, hand tools went to $12.50. Anybody who wanted to pay $12.50 could go down and pick up their hand tool. There was a double bit axe that I really wanted. That went for $12.50, and I didn't go down and get it. Somebody else, the guy who originally drove the price up to $12.50, went and got that one. So, pretty prized item. Then the next time it came around, the prices topped out at $7. So for $7, I got these two. $7 a piece. I got these two. It's kind of funny. A little funny story real quick. When I went and picked this up, a guy looked at me and he said, "Man," he said, "you are wasting your money." He said, "That is the shortest, nastiest looking hoe I think I've ever seen in my life." Anybody who knows what this is not a hoe. This is an axe. This is actually an adze axe. If you're working with heavy timbers and you want to be able to smooth out a heavy timber and chop into a tree and turn it into a heavy timber, you need an adze axe like this It's one of the tools you can use. You can use a hewing axe, but an adze axe like this, the handle's terrible. Handle will have to be redone. And actually, this isn't an original handle, because adze axes, the handle has like an S curve in it. You can take an axe. You can go to some of these stores and find you a good hickory axe handle that's not been finished, and soak it and steam it and slowly apply force to it and bend it into an S, which is what I may very well end up doing. But you know, I thought it was a good pickup. It's not terribly pitted or rusted. I think it ought to be able to sharpen up pretty well. So an adze axe, $7. Online right now through eBay, some of the other stores, you know, they're getting far more than that. And you know, I was a little bit curious about this here weed sling, and I've used them in the past when I was in Boy Scouts years ago. The handle seemed about the right length. I don't know. I picked it up because it's a curiosity to me. It's not. I own a string trimmer. You know, by all means, if I was going to do a large area, I would grab a string trimmer. But these things have always been kind of fun when you're just messing around in a little area, a small ditch, something like that. So, $7. So that's what I got for $7. Next thing that happened was they came out and they were auctioning off come along, 1 ton come along. Okay, so I looked at the come along. Everything with it is in working condition. It you know, it does everything it's supposed to do. So you know, I wanted to get the come along. You know, I've got chains and I've got tobacco, and I can move stuff around in a lot of different ways. But the come along, you know, I've used them in the past on some projects, and I thought they work really well. And I don't have one right now, and so you know, I said, well, I'll get a 1 ton come along. See what happens with that. And I might actually keep it in the truck. I don't have a winch in my truck, so I may just throw the come along in here with the tow strap and a couple of the chains, and keep that, because I don't have a winch, and I do like to go out in the mud. So you know, see how that all comes together. So I wanted this come along. Well, you know, they started out with bidding at $25, and they moved down, they got down to $5, and then it started to creep back up, and it got to, I think, $7.50, and the guy was like, you know, we got to get more than $7.50 for that. So nobody would go above $7.50, so they started saying, okay, well, we're gonna throw other things in together with that come along to see if we can get it above $7.50. All right, so they throw some items together. They end up coming up, and it goes to $12.50. And you know, I raised my hand, $12.50. So at $12.50 with this bundled deal is what I got. So I got this little concrete hoe head, no handle, but a head for a concrete hoe. The come along. I got this drill that I'm not really sure that I would try to use. I can't find a really name on it. I haven't even plugged it in the wall. As you can see, the cord down here is frayed. The cord on the other end of it's frayed. So I'm not really sure that I'm even going to do anything with this. But I ended up with this porta cable, 6-inch grinder, variable speed, 6-inch grinder. Plugged it in. Everything works with it. You know, it's a model number type 2, model number 7336. So looked it up online. That's about a $30 tool. You know, I'm not going to tell you I'm displeased with that. I just you know, so this $12.50. $12.50 for that bundle, $7 a piece here. They made you pay a buyer's commission when you were all said and done. So I think I ended up walking out of there at $31 for that load of stuff right there. You know, like I said, non-buyer's remorse on the Ford 3000 tractor. Would have loved to have picked that up for that kind of money. If I would have known it was going to go at $825, I probably would have bid it. But I really just thought throwing my hand up at $825 was going to be for naught, and that thing was going to explode up to $2,000, and it didn't. So, but yeah, if you have a farm equipment auction going on around you, it might be worth your time to drive over there. You find some really unique things. You might find a tool that you know what it is and nobody else seems to, that you can get at a reasonable price. you might find a novelty that you just kind of, like, hey, yeah, I'll spend a few bucks on that just to mess around with it. And you might find something that you want, and then they have to throw a bunch of things together and end up with a kind of a jewel in the whole deal. So would be worth your time. Never know what you're going to find at an auction. Never know what you're going to get. So again, the only thing I will say is buyer beware. Some of those things, that angle grinder, very well when I got it home and plugged in, very well could have not worked. And I would still spend $12.50 on a 1-ton come along, which isn't much better than what you could have gone to Harbor Freight or somewhere else and picked up a brand spankety new one for. So it is one of those kind of things where even though you think you're getting a deal, you better have an idea of kind of what you're paying for. So anyways, that's farm auctions. Buy at your own risk, but there's a possibility you can find some pretty decent things out there. So my Tabor City home to you. Go to an auction, see what you find. Might be worth your time. See you later. God bless.